Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to some more no Frieren. Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Season 2, Episode 7. Previously on Frieren, our main protagonists met some old acquaintances, most notably the woman known as Method, I think. Ever since the first season, I was always very curious about her, and now we get some more of her. But anyway, after meeting up at a decimated village, they decided to team up temporarily to hunt the demon that destroyed the town. With all that said, let's get into it.
先日、ゲナウの相棒が戦死してな。しばらくは二人で北部高原の魔族の討伐任務に当たってもらう。
よろしくお願いします、ゲナウさん。
北部高原は北の果てに匹敵するほどの危険な地域だ。足を引っ張るなよ。
握手。
She was promoting good relations, I think, ever since the first season, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm pretty sure she said something about, all the first class mages being kind of selfish and, not liking to work together.
メトーデ、お前は自分がいいやつだと思うか？
言っている意味がわかりません。
I don't think anyone thinks that. If you think you're a good person, you're probably not a good person.
前の相棒はいいやつだったよ。私とは正反対でな。見ず知らずのやつのために本気になれるようなやつだった。
I wouldn't say being kind to others makes you a good person. And that also doesn't mean that if you're not good to others, that doesn't make you a bad person.
そんな性格だから、周りにはいつも自然と人が集まってきた。子供をかばって死んだんだ。おかげで魔族を仕留め損ねた。
Ah, so that's probably how he knows the four-armed, four-sword demon.
今までだって見捨ててきた。
Oh, yes. He's heavily implying that he's going to die protecting a child.
ゲナウさんと組むのがです。
さあな、ゼイリエ様の決めたことだ。ただ一つ言えることは、北部高原の任務を任される一級魔法使いは、三度の飯より戦いが好きなやつだ。確かに不思議だな。なんでユーベルではなくお前なんだろうな。どちらにせよ、戦いが好きなやつなんてろくな人間じゃない。お前は私のようにはなるな。
And that's kind of why I like her so much, or why I'm so interested in her character, is because if you think about it like this, right? You have, what was her name again? Ubel? Like, for instance, her character is so, like, you expect her to be a psychopathic killer type of, Her character is very straightforward. But then you look at, like, Method, and it's like, kind of like, you have no idea what her goal is. You have no idea if she's like secretly kind of bad, but she hides it very well. Or maybe she is a good person, but like at the same time, she kind of, she doesn't have that like kind aura necessarily. I mean, she kind of does, but she's not exactly smiling all the time or anything. She's kind of like, she's a little bit weird. Her lack of straightforwardness makes her seem strangely mysterious.
探索に出発する前に情報共有しておこうか。はい、どれも村から姿を消しています。
4体もいたのか。
そのうち1体は魔族の将軍。4本の剣で騎士団を仕留めています。
将軍って何なんだ？
熟練の魔族の戦士のことだよ。強大な魔力で身体能力を強化して武術を操るんだ。中には愚道者のように何百年もかけて武を極める連中もいる。魔王軍にはアイゼンよりずっと強い将軍もいたよ。
マジかよ。
おまけに今回の相手は人の姿とはかけ離れている可能性が高い。
それって何かまずいのか？
シュタルクは剣4本持った剣術の達人と戦ったことある？
あるわけねえだろ。
私もないよ。それが騎士団が負けた原因だろうね。
True. When you're very experienced, you sometimes the experience makes you, normally like when you're fighting, when you're experienced in fighting, you or really experienced in anything, your experience makes you stronger against that specific situation because you can predict based off of your experience. And your predictions make you react faster and already know what to do in case those certain things happen, right? However, if your enemy or your opponent or whatever is unpredictable and does something that you've never experienced before, your experience itself can become a detriment because you're expecting something specific and then you get hit with something different where now you started, instead of reacting to what you saw, you predicted what you saw and you preemptively already moved into the line of fire thinking that, oh, that's not going to happen, when in reality it did happen.
魔法使い4人に戦士1人、うち3人は1級です。勝てない数ではありませんね。仕掛けますか？
いや、嫌な予感がする。分散するまで待とう。
分散しますかね、レボルテ様。相手相当警戒していますよ。
That's interesting.
分散
That
するさ。
smaller demon seems to have, or seems to act with emotion.
そのために大勢殺して喧嘩を売ったんだ。この北部高
Or
原
at
で
least
多くの
pretends to
山
have
岳
them.
を滅ぼすうちに気がついたことがある。
なんです。
それじゃあ魔族の探索に出発しよう。まずは北にある放棄された砦に向かおうか。
Wait, did she say
魔法使い4人に戦士1人、
one warrior,
うち
three
3人
mages?
は1級です。
Three
ま
mages,
ずは
even though there's four. Question is, which mage are they not sensing? I would imagine it's either Frieren or Fern. I'd imagine the one that they're not sensing is probably Fern because they've kind of pushed for her like specialty to be, hiding her
魔
mana.
族の潜伏先になってることが多いからね。
But then again, Frieren's just as good at doing that and does it all the time as well, so I'm not sure why they would sense one over the other.
誰か村に残った方がいい。私が残ろう。人間には死体を守るために村に残る習性がある。
He's doing it on purpose.
興味深いです。
It's
なぜなんです
bait.
か？
理由なんか必要ない。
He knows exactly what
すごく
he's doing.
すごく気になります。
変わったやつだ。
人間は時々理屈が通らない不可解な行動をとります。それがなぜなのか知りたいのです。
ただそうな。
Very interesting question here, but humans sometimes act irrationally and so on, but like demons kind of do that all the time, right? I mean, again, I think I asked this last episode, but like, if demons can survive off of things other than humans, then why would they keep antagonizing humans by eating them? That's just irrational, right? What kind of creature would purposefully, like, to survive, why would they purposefully antagonize a potentially more powerful creature that might kill them? That's irrational, that's illogical, that makes no fucking sense. Obviously, if you can survive on like weaker creatures, like mindless animals, why wouldn't you do that instead of humans, right? Humans are just way more dangerous.
理由を知る必要はない。そういえば、
人類について研究している変わり者の魔族がいると聞いたことがある。
そうなんですか？その方につ
Interesting.
いてもっと教えてください。
I did mention that there might be some sort of exception
本当です
demon
か？
that
約束ですよ、レボルテ様。
ノルム騎士団が死体を引き取りに来たら私も合流する。
there are always
分
exceptions.
かった。
俺も村に残るよ。
バカかお前は。これから魔族と戦いに行くんだぞ。前衛がいなくてどうする？
あんただってそうだろ。村に魔族が戻ってきたらどうする？
問題ない。私は前衛がいなくてもそれなりに戦える。
それはフリーレンたちも同じだろ。やばくなったらうまく逃げるだろ。
まあね。
でもあんたはこの村を捨てて逃げられない。
シュタルク、ここにあるのは死体だ。
それを守るためにあんたはここに残るんだろ。
好きにしろ。シュタルク、お前はいいやつだな。俺はお前のようなやつを知っている。きっと長生きできない。
俺にはあんたがいいやつに見えるよ。こんなになっちまった村をまだ守ろうとしている。俺にはできなかったことだ。
私はいいやつではないさ。それとは正反対の人間だ。北側諸国の平穏のために何だってやってきた。そのために人だって殺してきたし、大勢見捨ててきた。報いなのかもしれんな。人の死というものにはなれる。まるで悲しくないんだ。故郷が滅びたのに何も感じない。ただこうするべきだと思ったから私はこの村に残っている。私は今さら何をやっているんだろうな。
お話でもしながら歩こう。
そんなんでいいんですか？
緊張と緩和が大事なの。
だらしない顔。
それにコミュニケーションはチームワークを高めるんだよ。知らなかったでしょ。
はあ。
それでしたらフリーレンさん、なでなでしてもいいですか？
Of course.
何を言っているんですかこの人。
私、ちっちゃい子の頭を撫でるのが好きなのですが、ゼイリエ様はあまり撫でさせてくれなくて。
Ah, but she does
しかも
sometimes do
嫌
it.
そうな顔をするんです。
私だって嫌な顔するよ。だいたい私はメトーデよりもずっとお姉さんなんだから、なでなでなんて許さないよ。
そうです。フリーレン様はお姉さんなんですから、気安く触らないでください。
ここに卵を割った時に殻が入らなくなる魔法があるのですが。
好きなだけ撫でていいよ。
フリーレン様。
As expected.
こんなにたくさんなでなでさせてもらえるなんて。
なでなでは1日10分までだ。
そんな。フリーレンさん、少しだけギューってしてもいいですか？ゼイリエ様はさせてくれなかったので。
もう好きにしていいよ。
好きにしていいんですか？
何？やめてよ。
ちぎれちゃう。
Ooh, company.
これって
こっちが熟練の魔法使いだって分かっているだろうに、臆する様子がない。
気づかれたな。
ふむ、始めようか。ネベラドーラ。
Notice how these demons are, like how their quote unquote personalities are, right? Which makes that other demon girl, well, I hesitate to say girl, but like still, right? Descriptions. Which is why that demon is so much more unique. right? Why would that demon specifically be so much more expressive and like human-like? As long as, again, I go back to the same argument of like, just as long as there is thought, there should be rationality.
魔力の霧だね。視界と魔力探知を塞がれた。
Orbital bombardment.
やり手だね。
どっちをやる？
あっちの背の高いやつ。変わった気配をまとっている。少しは楽しめそうだ。
では俺はあの二人を。
魔族は2人とも飛んでいました。以前戦った魔族もそうでしたが、あれは飛行魔法ですよね。
話したでしょ。40年前まで空は魔族の独壇場だった。
でも魔族は一つの魔法しか研究しないって。
フェルンは歩くことに特別な技術はいると思う？
That's an interesting way of looking at it.
魔族にとって飛行魔法は魔法ですらないんだよ。メトーデが快適したようだね。フェルン、戦闘は任せるから。
どうしてですか？
これは一級魔法使いに与えられた任務だ。
And it's good
一級魔法使いは
experience.
フェルンでしょ。何も問題はないよ。勝てる相手だ。ほらね。
You'll get a lot of XP from this. Trust.
今のは偶然です。フリーレン様が指をさしたから反応できただけで、攻撃は全く探知できませんでした。相手は格上です。
私はそうは思わない。フェルンほど基本に忠実な一級魔法使いもそうはいないからね。大丈夫。フェルンなら勝てるよ。
At this point, I think Frieren probably might be thinking that, well, in reality, the demon actually is slightly better than Fern, but if she is certain and confident, then she has a good chance of beating him. She just needs to, you know, trust in her own capability.
村を襲った魔族に心当たりがあるんだろ？
四刀流の魔族なんてそういるものじゃない。真偽のレボルテ、私の相棒を殺した魔族だよ。奴の剣は重さを自在に変えられるんだ。時には羽より軽く鋭く、時には巨岩のように重い。神話の時代に山を砕いた剣になぞらえて真偽の再建と呼ばれている。魔法はこの世ならざる物質をも作り出す。特に魔法で作られた武器というのは殺意の塊だ。こういう武器を作る魔族は大勢殺す。まるで試し斬りでもするように不必要なほどにな。シュタルク。
分かっている。敵だろ。
早いな。来るぞ。
戦士一人に一級魔法使い一人。やはり村を守っていたか。読み通りだな。
レボルテだ。
こいつが。
私のことを知っているようだな。特にそこの一級魔法使いはどこかで見た顔だ。何者だ？
シュタルク始めるぞ。奴の斬撃をまともに受けるなよ。正面から受ければ最悪消し飛ぶ。
何者だと聞いている。
お前は害虫を駆除するときにいちいち名乗りを上げるのか？
随分と歪んだ認識だ。 我らには言葉があるというのに。だがお前たちが話し合いを望まないというのであれば。
It's very interesting because on one hand, you know, demons speak to deceive, yes, and demons, you know, don't have any empathy and whatnot, right? But are humans any better if they refuse to communicate and just simply kill? You know? Like, ultimately, the difference between the demons and humans is that the humans do communicate, or at least try to. But demons, quote unquote, communicate to the, but, you know, not really, they deceive. Now, humans can deceive as well, but, you know, they don't do so just naturally. They do so with intent, you know, because they're greedy or they want something. Unless they're a psychopath, in which case, you know, they're basically a demon. But the point remains that we see these humans, these mages, they've gotten so used to the idea that demons are pests, they're animals that need to be exterminated. In some ways, are they any better than demons? Like, to kind of give you an example, let's say, it's not a one-to-one example or anything, but, you know, still, like, let's imagine that you're on some sort of island, and the last, I don't know, the last 100 people have all been murderers and serial killers. They're all bad people, right? And you've started thinking that this is like an island full of murderers and serial killers, right? It's like a prison island. And then when you run into a person that isn't trying to kill you, and maybe is saying that, hey, I'm not like those others, or maybe they're saying something like, hey, I'm friendly, you automatically don't even give them a chance to speak, because you just assume that they are another serial killer and murderer, and then you just attack them because you are 99% certain that they are evil as well, based off of previous experience, right? Now, your experience isn't wrong, and you are not wrong for believing that there is another serial killer, but it is still possible that there might be an exception. But in this case, you know, it's demons, so I mean, there's an element of actual, like genetic and or magical differences and whatnot. They're just like a different species, so they're not human. Oh, god damn it. Well, that's interesting. To be able to conjure wings. Well, I mean, actually, have we seen conjuration abilities before? Have we seen anyone conjure something? Well, I guess the mages do kind of magically produce their staves out of nothing. So I suppose if we take that into account, and it's not just some sort of like in-universe thing that mages can do, that they can just produce their staff out of nowhere, I suppose that is kind of like conjuration. Actually, no, it's not, because a mage's staff is like a physical object, and it's not. But then where the fuck is the staff all the time? Do they have like a you know, like a pocket dimension spell thing? I don't know. You see, now I'm thinking too hard. Now I'm going too deep into this. But I assume, you know, with magical universes, there is conjuration. In this case, it could be either conjuration or some sort of like polymorph something, some sort of spell. I mean, this is Frieren we're talking about, right? There's all kinds of spells, right? There's a spell for everything, apparently. And I'm pretty sure you can create your own spells. So, you know, yeah. I'm really excited to see her fight. Not gonna lie. I really want to see her fight. I wonder if they're even gonna show it because, again, maybe it's just my imagination, but they are really heavily piling on the mysteriousness on purpose with her character. But again, maybe it's my imagination. I really feel like there's something more to her that they're obviously trying to hide. Especially with scenes like this, right, where she's constantly like, "Hey, can I pet you? Can I hug you?" Right? And they're making her seem like she's kind of, you know, like she just likes cute small animals, small people to pet them and hug them, right? And yeah, that's a nice little friendly, harmless quirk of her character, right? In every scene where she's in, where they don't have anything else to really talk about, they always do this, like with her, where it's like she has this little quirk of like, hey, she likes to pet and hug, right? Okay, but it's like, it's almost like that's the only thing she has going for her. I don't think so, right? Something just feels off. Like they're trying to push her being friendly on purpose, so you would lower your guard. That's the feeling that I'm getting. Now, do I think that she's going to be some sort of like hidden serial killer? Not really, but I do think that there's probably a lot more to her. I don't know what it is, but like, she's special in some way. I don't know what it is. I mean, it literally could be anything. Still, that was episode 7 of Frieren. I hope you enjoyed, and we shall be back next time with episode 8. Until then, ladies and gents, I shall bid you adieu.